I listen to this song every time I'm gonna film. It's so fucking hot in here. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna do another story time. No, the title's not clickbait. I did lie about being from Spain for 6 months consecutively. Yeah. It was a lit time. Let's get into the story. Okay, I am born and raised in Sweden. Both my parents, this isn't really crucial to the story, but both my parents work in the mining industry, and if you don't know anything about mines and stuff like that, then mines close and open all the time. So we have to kind of move around as a family a lot. Cue why I'm actually in the States right now. My mom never really wanted us to move as a family because it's like really hard on the kids and stuff. So we just kind of stayed in one place in Sweden, and my dad was commuting to a lot of places. He commuted to Canada, to like 6 hours from where we lived. He, you know, like everywhere. So I only saw my dad on the weekends growing up, and which kind of sucked. I mean, I'm a daddy's girl. Cue me always wearing a baby girl hat. No, it's not a daddy kink. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. But my mom got really tired of us not being together as a family. We decided that we were gonna move as a family like 4 or 6 hours north of where we used to live. And keep in mind, we already lived in literally the buttfuck nowhere of Sweden, and we're gonna move 6 hours north. Do you think I lived with polar bears? Because so did I, bitch, so did I. So I was like 8 years old when we moved. I was in 2nd grade. I think I was such a fucking unruly, annoying ass, sassy ass cunt when I was younger. Literally thought I could finesse all these boys. Like, I don't even know. I couldn't, by the way, because I had the fucking McDonald's logo in my face because a girl didn't find a pair of tweezers. I was a very imaginative child, and I thought I was the shit. I thought I was so fucking hot as a kid. Like, I was like rolling up in my fucking tunics and my hair to fucking here, being like McDonald's logo in my face, being like, where these boys at though? Actually me though. I'm actually surprised my mom didn't like do a late abortion on me like 8 years later. Anyway, so obviously I had to go to a new school. It was kind of like a very little town, to the point that when a new kid came to the school, it was like a big deal, and everyone was like, oh my god, that's like so cool. And I used to fucking love attention. I used to be like, I'm the shit, like y'all gonna look at me kind of thing. Literally, I hate myself so much. So I walk into school, I think I'm fine as hell, dude. I think that all the boys are gonna be like, damn, that 8-year-old's flat ass dough. Like, her flat titties dough. Like, prepubescent, holy shit. Me. So I go into the classroom and everyone's staring, and I remember this so well. It wasn't even a classroom, it was like a gymnasium kind of thing. Like, it was huge. It was basically like this, yeah, it was kind of like a gymnasium. And so everyone's sitting in a circle, and I'm walking in with my dad, and, you know, I'm just like, yes. I remember me taking, like, putting my hand on, like, the handle to open the door, and I knew my entire, like, class was gonna go in there. And I open the door, and I just, like, walk. I, like, swing my hips back and forth thinking I'm literally the shit. I'm like, Pamela Anderson who? My 8-year-old ass, I can't. So I sit down in the circle and I'm like, my name is Sascha, like y'all my hoes now. And so that was basically the first day of school. Now, I remember this boy, okay? I remember this boy, his name was, okay, I'm not gonna say his name, but he's watching this video because he watches all my videos. So let's name him Kyle. Kyle, I remember, had such a big crush on me, and I was like feeding off that shit. Like, I was like, of course Kyle has a fucking crush on me, duh, I'm hot. Actually, I want to kill myself so much. So the first day goes fine, the second day, whatever, like it goes on pretty well the first week. And I'm hanging out with Kyle and a couple of my newfound girlfriends that I'm really liking, and they're kind of like, we're kind of like becoming a gang, right? And so I always get this question, always, ever since I was little, because I'm really tan naturally, and I don't really look Swedish. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh my god, Swedish people are supposed to be blonde and tall and like have blue eyes and they're supposed to be fair. I'm like, bitch, I'm not, but okay. So I always get the question, where are you from? What's your ethnicity? Whatever. And I hate answering this because I am super, like, I'm a mixture of different things, and I can never really give people the satisfaction of, like, giving them, like, oh, I'm Brazilian, or, like, oh, I'm this, or, like, oh, I'm that, because I'm such a mixture. So when I tell them the mixture, everyone's just like, that's really cute. I figured this out pretty early in life, too. So I was chilling with my friends one day, and this question kind of rolled up, and Kyle asked me, he's like, hey, Sasha, you know, me and the guys had a bet from, like, where you're from. What's your ethnicity? And I said, from Spain. So where are you from? And I just had the biggest crush on Kyle ever. I was like, well, okay, first of all, who the fuck is a bet from... Anyway, I was so obsessed with Kyle that I was just like, yeah, like, no, you're right, I'm from Spain. And he's like, oh my god, really? Like, I was right? And I was like, yeah, you're right, I'm from Spain. Like, hola. Keep in mind, I am not from Spain. I cannot speak Spanish. Well, like, a little bit, I can understand it, but, like, cannot speak Spanish. I am not Spanish, okay? Nah. So I'm just rolling with it, thinking that it's gonna, like, blow over, you know what I mean? And so I'm just, like, kind of going with it, like, yeah, I'm from Spain. But it doesn't stop there, because if it were to stop there, bitch, do you think it were to be a story time? Nah. So they're like, oh my god, can you speak Spanish for us right now? And I'm just like, yeah, I can. And I could not speak Spanish, bitch. What? So I literally, you know when you squiggle lines on a paper to, like, forge someone's signature or even your own because you don't know how to fucking adult? Me. I did that, but with Spanish. I literally did this. Yeah, I just said I love blueberries. Fuck with me. What? Literally, what the fuck was I thinking? Who in the right state of fucking mind does that, bitch? Me. I did that. I'm a psycho ass kid in the fuck. And they bought it. They were like, oh my god, that's so cool. And I'm standing there like, I'm literally like, you just bought that? Because I'm gonna go with this now. So I kept going with it. And I kept going with it to the point where it wasn't a dumb lie anymore. So I said to them, I'm like, you guys come here. You have to be a little bit closer for this because this is this really big secret, okay? And they all were like, oh my god, yeah, let's hear it. So they're all like coming close to me. And I'm like, yeah, you guys can't tell anyone this, but like, we didn't move from like my old hometown in Sweden, like where I used to live. We actually moved from Spain. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, like, but it's like, we're on like a secret mission right now, so like, you guys can't tell anyone. Like, what the hell? Dude, did I really think that I was gonna be like Kim motherfucking Possible and be like, yeah, we just came here from a fucking secret services, bitch. No, bitch. No, bitch. But they like totally bought it too because we're 8 fucking years old. They were like, oh my god, that's so cool. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, totally. And we were in my basement. I'm not even fucking kidding, this happened. We were in my basement. And so then they start asking all these follow-up questions that I obviously didn't know how to answer. So they're like, oh my god, where are you from? Who's your best friend? Can you like tell us some Spanish right now? Like, can we look it up? And I was a sneaky ass motherfucking 8-year-old dude. Keep in mind, this is the first time my mom is hearing this. So like, shout out to my mom for not even knowing she raised a dumbass, lying ass, fucking psycho kid. Okay. So I'm like getting all these follow-up questions that I don't know how to answer. So I literally am like, I'm feeling like my throat hurts a little bit. Can I like go upstairs really quickly? So I run up the fucking stairs and I'm like, Mom, say a Spanish city right now. She's like, the fuck? I'm like, just like tell me one. Just tell me one. She's like, Madrid? I'm like, okay, say a Spanish name. She's like, Marisol. This is literally the things she said because I remember this because I feel so fucking bad till this day. So she's like, the fuck is my kid doing? So I'm like, thank you. And I run backstairs and I'm like, yeah, I come from like Madrid. Not knowing that's like the fucking capital of Spain at the time because I was 8 fucking years old. So I'm like, yeah, from like Madrid. And they're like, oh really, that's so cool. I'm like, yeah, I like have a friend, her name is Marisol, and like she's like my best friend, but like I said, y'all can't tell anyone, okay? Because y'all can't be snitching around on me. And they're all like, no, we'll keep it a secret, we'll keep it a secret. So they all felt like so important. So this was I almost said his name, Kyle and my 2 girlfriends that were just like sitting around, and they were like, oh my god, this is so cool, this is so cool. So they kept it a secret, right? But I felt so important, okay? Because the upcoming weeks, I just like kept going with it further and further and further. And eventually, kind of everyone knew. Because not only had I been feeling super like, yeah, so important, all the boys are gonna want my Spanish ass. And also the other people started like snitching on me and telling people like, oh my god, did you know Sasha's from Spain? She's fucking Secret Service, FBI, bitch. You know, so everyone in my grade kind of knew, but obviously my parents didn't know, and nobody else really knew that I was lying, and obviously I'm not from Spain, but I fucking went with that shit. And then after a while, I started feeling so bad. Like, I started feeling so bad inside because I'm not a pathological liar. It eats me inside when I lie. I wanted to tell them so badly. I was like, oh my god, I feel so bad about this. I started losing sleep over this. I couldn't tell my mom because I felt embarrassed. I couldn't really tell anyone. And so me and Kaya were like kind of a thing, but I was like pretending that I like hated him at the time because like I'm 8 high. So I remember this one time, me and Kyle were hanging out alone, and actually no, there was another girl in there too, my best friend at the time. And we're all sitting in my kitchen, and I really wanted to tell them because it was like my boyfriend and my best friend, we're gonna call her Chelsea, and then Kyle were sitting there, and they're like my closest friends, and I really just want to tell them because I feel so bad. So I literally go like, I'm like, you know, like the thing that I'm like from Spain and everything, and it's like a secret, and they're like, yeah, and I'm like, well, like what if I told you that it was like a lie and like I made it all up, thinking that they're gonna get the hint. So Kyle literally go, yeah, if like you've been lying to all of, actually this was pre-PBS, and so he would have a higher voice. Anyway, he was like, no, I would literally like kill you if you had lied all this time, like I could never trust you again. Like, do you realize how like fucked up that is? And that was not the response I wanted, bitch. I was like, yeah, like that's so fucked up. Like, oh my god, what if I would have done that? Fuck. And so I think in my head, fuck, there's no explanation for this. There's nothing I can do to like explain this to them. So I'm like, goddamn. I keep going with it, okay? I keep going with it. It's kind of like when you take a little snowball and you roll it into like a snowman. Like it just like builds on it, gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I keep speaking fucking Spanish to everyone, and I literally quoted Shakira songs. Come again? Yeah. I quoted, excuse me, bitch. I quoted Shakira songs because obviously I didn't know Spanish. Hips don't lie is in English, you bitch. What? Oh my god. Who raised me, dude? I was just trying to figure my cock out. I have started saying cock to everything in life recently. Like, I don't actually have a cock, but I'm always saying like, I just have issues with my cock all the time, and I like don't mean it, but I just can't stop saying cock. That was like that one time in biology where we were playing, like we had these really, this is like so not crucial to the story, but I just really want to tell you this because it's like cock related. In biology last year, we had like these really like cool high-tech calculators, and we could play Flappy Bird on them, and like my calculator didn't work, so I like leaned over to Nick, my friend, and I yelled across the classroom, like everyone heard me going, why can't I play Flappy Cock on my calculator? And everyone just looks up and they're like, Sasha. Side story. Anyway, moving on. They did not fucking get the hint that I was lying, okay? All of a sudden, one of my friends that had just like found out, like she wasn't really my friend, but like I said, everyone had kind of figured out already, sorry, because it had just like the word had spread pretty quickly, and obviously we were 8 fucking years old, so we weren't that good at keeping secrets and priorities. She was a little snitch, and she had told her mom that that had happened. Now, conveniently, her mom worked with my dad, and she was like telling my friend, obviously her daughter, like, what do you mean Sasha's from Spain? No, like the Richardsons are from their hometown in Sweden. They're not from Spain. Where have you heard this? And my friend, let's call her Janice was like, no, like Sasha's telling everyone that they're like secret mission from Spain. Is that true? And her mom is like, no, that's not true, sweetie. Where have you heard that? Like, why is she saying that? And she's like, oh, she just told us that she like can't tell anyone. She's like, no, she's lying. And so Janice goes to me and she's like, I heard you were lying about the Spain thing. Like, you can't fucking lie about that shit. Like, everyone's believing you, you fucking liar. And I just keep going with it. I think she's gonna believe me. So I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? No, I'm from Spain. I told you. I can speak Spanish for you right now. Literally, I'm not even fucking kidding you right now. So like I said, we only lived there for 6 months, and it only got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and it's eating me inside at this point because my crush believes it, everyone believes it, but it's also a counter argument that I'm lying. So a lot of people are like, is she lying? Is she telling the truth? Blah, 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 and it's eating me inside. I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm trying to figure my cock out. So after the 6 months were up, and we're gonna move back to my hometown in Sweden, and I had wanted to tell my friends so badly that I'm not from Spain, and I just like can't do it. I literally lived with a fucking lie for 6 months. My life? Like, get your life. Like, what? So when it's time to go home, I remember this so clearly. It was like the last day that we were there. I was at my friend, what the fuck did I name her? Chelsea. Yeah, I was at Chelsea's house the last day because she grew really close to me actually. And I was sitting here on her couch and everything, and I was just like, you know, feeling really sad. And I was thinking inside, like, should I tell her? You know, I'm not gonna see her for a long while after this. And obviously social media wasn't as big when I was 8. I mean, it was still kind of around, but it wasn't as big as now. So I'm sitting there like, oh, should I tell her? Should I not tell her? Blah, blah, blah. And then I get a text from my dad because I had like one of those flip phones. He's like, I'm outside. I'm coming to pick you up. And so I'm like, fuck. So I say bye to her, and right before I'm about to close the door, you know what the fuck I do? I don't own up to what I'm doing. You know what the fuck I do? Bitch. I say this. I'm like, oh, by the way, we are actually moving to another city in Sweden right now and not back to Spain. But like, you can't tell anyone because like we're still from Spain and everything. But bye. And I close the door. You motherfucking pathological liar. Literally, who the fuck raised me? Like, no shade to my mom and dad, but like, what the fuck? Psychiatric facility, please? So I literally lie one last time and just say to Chelsea that I'm moving to Sweden. That I'm not moving back to Spain, that I'm moving to an actual another Swedish city at this point. And I kind of thought, looking back at it in hindsight, that she kind of figured it out. Because, I mean, my lie had some fucking, they could poke a hole in a motherfucking lie, okay? So I kind of thought she had figured it out, and she was just kind of going with it and be like, you're psycho. So I go home and I start my old school and I live my old life again, and it's kind of like that town and that experience with the lying and everything kind of never happened, which was good for me because I still felt really bad. However, it was still eating me up inside. It was still eating me up that I had lied and everything, and I literally felt bad until literally 8th grade. And this was 2nd grade, keep in mind. I literally felt so bad for the longest time ever. Not even lying. So I never went back. Like, I went back like 2 times, and I like went back for a day because I felt so bad inside and I didn't want to meet those people again. Not even kidding you. It haunted me for years. I hate lying. I hate all this shit. I can't do it. It eats me up inside. So this is what I do. In literally like 5th or 6th grade, or even like 7th grade, pretty late on, because I didn't want to face this head on because I was too embarrassed, okay? I was like, shit, they all know, because obviously when I left, I think they all kind of got together and were like, yeah, she was lying the entire time. So a lot of years later, like maybe like middle school, I get a Facebook message from Janice, the girl that poked a fucking hole in my theory, or lie. You know, we start texting back and forth, and after a while, I apologize for lying. And I come clean completely, and I text her, and then after that, when I had come clean to her and be like, yeah, I'm not from Spain, I'm actually from here, I just was, you know, I was lying, I'm so sorry, I don't know why I lied, it was so pointless, blah, blah, blah. I decided to text everyone that I knew. So I texted literally everyone in my class. Maybe not everyone, but I texted a hell of a lot of people because I just felt so bad. And a lot of people actually didn't reply, which is like, bitch, excuse me, I was the shit back in the day. Like, you wish. No, I'm just kidding, I was so fucking ugly. And it felt so good. It felt so good inside. I was like, shit. Dude, yes. And ever since then, I've had a really hard time lying. I still feel bad, I'm not even kidding. And like, till this day, those people are still like not my friend. And I understand why. Like, I was a fucking crazy ass psychopathical liar. Is that a word? Literally, I understand it. And they're gonna watch this video and die of laughter because it's literally, I still feel bad about that shit. Like, Chelsea never talked to me after that again. Like, she still doesn't. So yeah, that's lit. And I'm finally coming clean because I still feel bad about this. Like, if you're watching this, I'm so fucking sorry. It was crazy. Okay, so if you're watching this and you were from that town and I did this to you, I'm so fucking sorry. Like, that was so unnecessary. Yeah, I was gonna make this a little compilation, but this video is so damn long anyway, so we're just gonna end it here. Moral of this story, children, don't fucking lie. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to follow all my social medias and subscribe. It's all in the description box. And I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!